What fool thing is Johnny doing now? Well, here we go. Lee Hacklin, private investigator in Cockadoodle Doom. Here we go, Chapter 7. Last month, two strange men paid us a visit. They looked like they were spat out of a Secret Service cutter machine. Matching suits, dark sunglasses, and they had those little telephone coils hanging out of their ears. They never gave us their names. We, you, thank you, Miss Betsy. I invited them in. We sat in our living room, and they told us that they represented a private company that was interested in our land. The company wants our land for a new shopping mall, or so they told us. No details were offered other than the money, $25 million. Betsy opined, "You should have shot them right then and there." He patted her knee and said, Now, Miss Betsy, I saw enough violence in Italy to last 10 lifetimes. I firmly but politely declined their offer. They looked surprised, offended even. They whispered together. Then the same man said, "We can go as high as 30 million." I just laughed and said, "You can offer me the sun, the moon, and Uranus if you like, but I'm not for sale." Betsy hissed, "Shane, we're in a public place. Uranus is a planet, Miss Betsy. Plant, your potty mouth." They left without even thanking us for our hospitality. Well, Lee, ever since then, we've had a few strange and disturbing incidents. 25 of our cows have gone missing. Somebody dammed the creek where we get our water. They dammed it with concrete, and it took us the better part of a day to take it down. A few nights ago, somebody lit our barn on fire. We have 10 hands, what you might call helpers, and we have plenty of fire extinguishers. Highland gets lightning storms all the time, so we're prepared. We were able to douse the fire before it caused any real serious damage. Yesterday I received a call in my office. It's in Peaksville. I recognized the voice. It was that man, that government drone. I said, "What makes you think they work for the government? If they were a private company and legit, they would have said the name. There's only two groups that has $30 million to throw around secretly, the mob and the government." Betsy helpfully added, "Oh, they were government all right, and it's 30 million tax dollars." Shane continued. He said, "We can go as high as 40 million, but that's it. Take the deal. We'll give you time to relocate. That's it. Take it. Or our actions will escalate." He hung up. Now, all of this has been reported to the county sheriff and the FBI. The FBI, against my better judgment. I trust them about as much as I trust Pepe Le Pew not to chase after that poor lady cat. Lee, I don't mean to blow wind up your butt. Betsy slapped her hand against the table and sniped, "Shane, forgive me, Miss Betsy. Where was I? Right. Well, Lee, I'm something of a fan of yours. You've sure been in the news a lot. I read your interview in American Detective magazine. What I respect about you the most is the fact that you tried to enlist during that Vietnam fiasco. They wouldn't take me. I have asthma, even though it's been in abeyance since high school." Betsy cackled. "Abeyance. Well, la-di-da." A private eye and an English professor. Shane gently admonished, "Miss Betsy, Lee has been a perfect gentleman. So you say. He darn near got Jock there kilt. That was my own darn fault, Ma." Shane rubbed the back of Jock's neck and said, "That's my boy, taking responsibility for yourself, just like your old man taught you. Lee, if it's not an imposition, thank you, Miss Betsy. I'd like you to stay with us for a while. You'd bunk with the hands, and maybe if you're interested, learn a little something about farming and ranching. Our head hand, Ray Canali, has been our de facto security chief, but I want you for the job. I can write you a retainer check now, pay you for 2 weeks in advance, whatever your rates are, and you can dine with the family every breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you like. Cocktail hours at 4, and we have plenty of beer. I understand you're a beer man." I smiled, trying not to lose my mind with joy. This was a plum case if there ever was one, and looked at Edwin, who hadn't uttered a word since the Bannisters entered my office. "What do you think about all of this, Edwin?" Just like that, all of the air left Dell's Deli. As my mom liked to remind me with soul-crushing frequency, that was the only thing I was good at, other than killing what she described as society's less fortunate. Jock gave Edwin a little noogie and said, "Edwin here is sharper than a samurai sword, Lee, but he was born deaf-mute. He can read lips, though, just like Hal from 2001. My face reddened. I picked up a salt shaker and said, "I'll sprinkle some of this on my foot before I put it in my mouth. Edwin, I'm sorry." He smiled for the first time and gave me a thumbs up. "Whoever is harassing this lovely family is going to regret it. Lee Hacklin, fortune teller. Shane, I'm in like flint. Good. I sure hope we can resolve this non-violently. If we can't, then I guess we'll just have to cross that bridge when we get there. Betsy added, with guns. Lots of guns. She pulled out her upper denture, fished a toothbrush out of her purse, and began to scrub it. She said to me rather warmly, which surprised me and relieved me, I lost all of my teeth in 1940. I worked in a munitions factory. When I was awarded Employee of the Month, one of my coworkers clobbered my jaw with a wrench. I took it and put a dent in her head. You better best behave yourself in Highland, Mr. Hacklin. I won't brook no sass. I gave her my toothiest grin and said, I prefer to keep my head undented, Mrs. Bannister. Consider me fairly warned. I prefer not to consider you at all. Shane, I need more denture glue. And I'm having an accident. Take me back to the hotel. He's his own biggest fan, that John Leister. Okay, it's a first draft. Happy Sunday. And don't forget, God loves you. And so does Johnny. Cheers.